Right. Alrighty then. What is going on, everyone? We are live and alive in the 915 El Paso, Chuco Town, here in the U.S. Southwest. And this is another edition of our online open mic presented by the Barbed Open Mic Series. Like I said, we're based out of the U.S. Southwest, but because of the magic of technology, we get to do this online and meet with people from all over the world, which is once again the case today. If you've never been to one of these, this is just like any other open mic. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. There is a link to sign up in the description of this video. If you just want to hang out with us, then please do so. That's all we ask. You know, hang out with us. We do have a live chat going on here on the left side of the stream. If you're on a computer or desktop, if you're on a phone or tablet, it's probably down there. Yeah, say hello in the chat. Hang out with us throughout the show. My name is Richie. I'll be your MC and host today. You can find me on Instagram at Dead Wall Reveries. You can also follow the whole open mic on social media if you just type in Barbed Wire Open Mic or BWOMS, BWOMS. That's the acronym that we use. Makes it a little easier to say or faster to say. But yeah, if you guys are in the El Paso region, we do have, in addition to the online shows, we have open mics that are at various venues in person throughout the week and throughout the month. And so this week, if you guys want to join us, we will be downtown at Mona Bar of Modern Art, as Kit likes to call it, the Wild West show. That is the last remaining mic where it is kind of open to comedy, stand-up comedy. But with that said, really the only limit to your imagination. If you are a dancer, come out and dance. Show us a routine. If you want to practice magic, come on through and practice your magic. We've had mimes, we've had belly dancers, we've had sword swallowers, we've had flaming sword swallowers. You know, we've been around for a while, is what I'm saying, and you guys can be part of that tradition. But yeah, that is Tuesday at Mona Bar, and then the following Tuesday after that is our last Tuesday mic of 2024. Come on through. That is going to be at Rosewood, and that is our verse and harmony open mic for singer-songwriters and poets. Either way, yeah, sign up starts at 8 at these shows. It's a late show, and the show starts after 9. What else? This Friday, we have a big day. It's actually an anniversary of sorts, right? A couple years back, the city of El Paso recognized our organization for its contributions to the culture and the arts. So that doesn't happen to a whole lot of orgs like that. And so December 13th is recognized as BWOMS Day. We like to celebrate by encouraging people to share their memories of, you know, the open mic over the years, if they have photos, if they have videos, and really just come out. This coincides perfectly with our next open mic at Craft Rhythm and Brews, a series that we've been calling Grizz Presents. And this month we are going to be showcasing some fire talents in Pie Sisters. We'll be playing. That's going to be a treat, as always. There's some of the top talent in the city. Just great all around people, and art by Kristen Apodaca, who is one of the top artists too in the region. If you can't drive around the city without seeing some of her murals around, you know, and she does a lot of great work as well. But other than that, hopefully we can see you guys. I know we've got also Old Sheepdog as well. I believe they'll be celebrating their 5-year anniversary pretty soon. Is it 5 or 7? I can't remember right now. Okay, yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kit, for the reminder. We also did a love letters zine that Kristen started, Kristen Apodaca, and we helped with a reading at the open mic with that zine, and it's really nice. I'll have to go find it so I can like do a show and tell thing. Otherwise, if you guys are an EPCC student looking for extra credit or Tejano passport, just let us know in the chat. I'll let you know. I do owe a couple people from last week, so if you're back with the vengeance because I forgot to respond to your email, I'm sorry. I will do that this week. Kind of a busy time teaching wise. A lot of essays to grade, finals week. Anyway, sleep somewhere. I think I'll find it someday. Anyway, that's enough of me. This is the part of the show where I talk the most. I will introduce you to all our performers and encourage them, as always, to share their social media links. If they have any special like new videos out or merch. It is the holidays, so if you guys have a book or a CD or an album that you guys want to plug, it's I always encourage people like buy your friends' work and buy it as gifts. I think that's one of my favorite things to do. Um, all right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, guys. Again, if you guys are hanging out with us, hang out with us in the live chat. If there's anything that really resonates with you, any specific line that you hear in a poem, type it down in the chat. Like that's kind of like the echo, right? You're like that line really resonated with you, and it's really good feedback from the poet to see which lines really hit or strike a nerve. Of course, you guys are feel free to use flame emojis, laughter emojis when appropriate. Okay, don't just throw laugh emojis at serious stuff. But yeah, if it's obvious that some people were telling using some humor, yeah, that's encouraged, right? Some hundreds, all that stuff. Let's if you're here, go practice. It's flames in the chat. We got Sandy in the house. We got Finn Bell as well tuning in. Awesome supporters. Oh, hold on. Let me mute myself. Bam. Okay, sorry. Did you guys hear that? No? A little bit? Was it echo? I'm an echo. Dang, speaking of echoes. All right, so I've talked a long time. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're gonna go ahead and kick things off with someone we've been missing a few weeks, and then their presence when they do miss, it's felt for sure. So it always feels nice and warm and cozy when they are here and get to kick off the show like we often do. It's our security poet, kind of like a security blanket. Sorry, that's a bad joke. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Mike Sindler. What's up, man?
Hello. Great to be here. Absolutely hate having to miss it, and definitely would have loved to have been here last week. It was just broke my heart to not be able to be here for the potluck show because that's so special. Um, I'm going to start with a sonnet, a new piece that's goes way back into my past, called Prize Past Measure. Is it vain thinking me, excuse me, messing up right from the start? Is it vain thinking she likes me so young, some prize boy toy for her milfin pleasure? I do not care a whit that she is of a certain age. When I gaze on her, I see an eternal treasure. Every sag of skin, every scar and wrinkle increase her divinity, make her more enticing. To my awkward skills, she adds bodily wisdom. Her movements and her pauses leave me panting. Not the virgin that she thinks, but little more worldly. Her gracious love's lessons are a prize past measure. Though I know I'm nothing but a passing fancy, I live for those moments of commingled leisure. If she is old, it makes her more magnificent to me. Youth dancing with age in the confines of infinity. And this is one I obviously wrote a couple days ago because this particular date is always a sticky one for me. Um, and I just call it 12/7/25. It's a Tonka. 30 years gone by since that till death do us part. Still heart hasn't changed. Fragile winter ice melts off. Water still flows underneath. And just gonna end, well, sort of end with one that is from a anthology that just came out that I'm in out of England called All About Animals. Ashley Edge uh, put it, edited it and put it out. And this is called Doghouse. That house has doors and windows and fresh paint. I am bare wood with a hole for an entrance. That house has couches and chairs and beds. I have a tattered, stained towel on the floor. That house has a kitchen and a dining room table. I have two shiny metal bowls left just outside. That house is warm to sleep in at night. I am as the seasons make me. That house contains children, wild and rambunctious. I contain the friend who plays and protects, always faithful. That house is full of chaos and drama. I am full of nothing but love. And just a reminder for people out there in YouTube land, if you're thinking of getting your kids a pet, make sure that you're ready to take care of it for many years going. They need a real home. They don't need just to be a present. Uh boy, I don't usually get preachy like that. But you know. So I'm gonna put on the hat and I was thinking about this song a lot lately, so I'm going to do it. It's by Butch Hancock. Originally, Jimmy Dale Gilmore did it. It's called Just a Wave, Not the Water. Thirst is not the answer. Oceans come and go. I loved her 7 seasons worth. Lord, I loved her so, but she let me down so easy. One slow drop at a time. I would have killed myself, but it made no sense. Committing suicide in self-defense. But I lost everything I brought her. When she said, babe, you're just a wave. You're not the water. Centuries ago, we were living on the Gold Coast. She was still in love with a long gone cold ghost. I was only trying to turn back the tide of her tears. I felt like an endless ocean rolling through the fog, full emotion drifting like a weather-beaten log. I even thought that I outthought her till she said, babe, you're just a wave. You're not the water. I said, someday we'll love again, and then you'll know the score. I taught you everything I know and maybe even more. That's true, she said, more than you ever will. I said, I've been your raging river, precious African queen. I've shown you everything that I've ever seen. But she knew more than I had taught her when she said, babe, you're just a wave. You're not the water. Well, I followed her far and wide with all my will. Water on the move, you know it never stands still. And I moved every muscle just to prove it can be done. Then up some old sad river where snow white lilies float, I came to her for mercy, but I hardly rocked the boat. She seemed surprised that I had caught her, but she said, babe, you're just a wave. You're not the water. She said, babe, you're just a wave. You're not the water. Okay, thank y'all.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And once again, welcome back. We did miss you. You know, we had the poetic potluck. And for those of you who missed that a couple of weeks back, that's a special annual tradition we do the Monday before Thanksgiving where we kind of rock each other's pieces and poems and all that stuff, you know, bringing something to the table, so to speak, metaphorically. Okay, cool. So thank you, Mike, for kicking it off tonight's Mike. As always, as often as you do, we're going to go ahead and travel to the East Coast and bring up our next performer. As I always like to say, it's our main man in Maine. That's right, it's time for Generalissimo Brian Franco. When you are ready, I will highlight you. Wait, where are you? Where are you? Oh,
Daffy
There
Duck.
you are. Yeah, there you are.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to do some pieces from my book, Everything I Think Is All My Mind. The first is called The Afterlife of a Tear. Every tear I cry tears a hole in my brain to reserve a place for a memory to reside. Sometimes certain memories decide to burrow a little further than the others, so when they get remembered, they have to be triggered. Sometimes someone will commit a crime against me I forgot I had previously experienced, and I see the previous perpetrator's face and the current perpetrator's face, which might make me scream loud enough to make them go deaf. There are memories we want to remember forever. There are memories not consequential enough to keep forever. Then there are memories that hide away in their burrowed holes that leave permanent residue in our souls called trauma. Um, Next poem is called Bleeding. When I get cut, my blood flows from my skin like lava from Kilauea. Sometimes I need more than direct pressure to make it stay inside. Sometimes I bleed recollections my subconscious decides it's time to say goodbye to. Ones it held on to, forming grudges on the inside walls of my personality that have aged enough to naturally decay and chip away into history. Sometimes I bleed bits and pieces of my childhood I have hoarded away to create an inflatable stunt mattress to break the fall of challenges and traumas of adulthood. Sometimes my blood runs clear, forming inconsolable tears when words are not available to wrap my soul in warmth when I've slipped and fallen into consequential hypothermia. Sometimes my blood is made of words that form when my tears and thoughts pool together into poetry. When that happens, my blood no longer belongs to me. Um, this is what's in the rear view belongs in the past. Do you live life as if you're driving in an infinite traffic jam surrounded by ghosts? As if you are a Ford Pinto that will explode if hit from behind, and your past is a garbage truck manned by a drunk driver? You look in the rear view. You look in the rear view. History is aggressively tailgating you, honking loudly. You switch lanes to let it pass, but it decides to hang to your left to flip you off. The odors of every lesson you've learned and every mistake you've made waft their way into your psyche. You are aware this is a ghost garbage truck. You pull forward, switch lanes directly in front of it, and stop short. Its ghostly phantasma passes through your Pinto and dissipates into another universe. Your psyche decides you are no longer a Pinto, but a cross-town local bus that may not always be on time, but gets you where you need to go and a few places you never expected. Um, how to turn your home into an indoor amusement park. When dizzy happens, you might sit or lie down to stop the room from spinning, but when life continues to spin out of control, everything that seems to be on a forward trajectory can act as a doorstop for everything else. Your overwhelmness becomes a tumor hidden beneath your skin no one knows about unless they touch you, but you've successfully blocked touch by allowing unlimited Reiki while denying fingertip access with a level of deftness that has them avowing how smooth your skin is. The fog released from the breath of your words is a barrier that blocks their sense of touch from knowing it has not achieved touching. You can be as disoriented as possible while tricking the world that your life is an Olympic perfect 10 balance beam routine because the gymnast on the beam is a hired ringer with your face temporarily tattooed to theirs. Every room in your house is a different dizzying ride. Playground roundabout, spinning teacups, tilt-a-whirl, G-force astronaut training exercise. You think if you practice enough, you'll become dizzy tolerant, but when you're punch drunk dizzy, more often than not, your tolerance will only be visible in the funhouse mirror you use while shaving away yesterday's bad decisions every new today in which you find yourself existing. I have one more poem. It's called Positive Side effects of brain damage. I am aware my brain works differently from other brains. As a child, I was diagnosed with multiple learning and motor disabilities. Motor disabilities affect how I perceive space and how fast I perform tasks. I'm deficient in hand-eye coordination, visual perception, and spatial judgment. Plus, I am blessed with a few other diagnoses with names that sound like product defects that cause wide-scale recalls. My parents were so afraid to teach me to drive, they hired a supposedly well regarded ex-cop who was not a nice man. I guess kids with my issues were his forte. Nevertheless, I got my license. As a visual artist, my sense of perspective is warped due to my deficiencies. Picasso painted the way he painted on purpose. I paint the way I paint due to my damaged brain. In general, most of my art is non-representational and abstract. When I do choose to paint a person or flower, what I translate onto canvas tends to look a bit funhouse mirror askew. In the kitchen, I know about recipes, but as hard as I try, I find it difficult to follow them. I don't think I can blame this on brain damage. Maybe the need to create a different sense of perspective in certain skill sets allows me to decide to draw my own lines, to paint inside of or outside of. As a result, I break recipes. I create different dishes because different is better. When I was a young child, a teacher noted certain skills weren't up to par. I took tests to perform tasks so my parents could label my issues that would follow me the rest of my life. As an adult, I deal with these issues by having a greater attention to detail than most other adults, which gives me permission to give myself permission to paint with a warped perspective and break recipes. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Anything you want to promote really quick? Definitely your book. Someone is asking in the YouTube chat, what was the name of the book again? And where can we get it?
I will put the I'll put the link for Red or Green Books where you can buy it from. Thank you.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, everyone. I didn't notice the name change to like you almost to your last poem. Generalissimo Daffy Franco. For those of you on YouTube, because you can't see our pictures, his pictures of Daffy Duck right there. Yo, what's up, Rayos Memo Kamikaze? Good to have you back on the stream. I saw you got the book title. Stephen Molina in the house. Stephen, hey, last Tuesday, Stephen helped me run sound at the Rosewood mic. It was so helpful. So I'm ever grateful for that. Thank you, man. Which reminds me, if you guys are watching and you want to be part of these events, not the online ones, well, yes, the online ones too, but if you want to help with any of our in-person ones, that is always helpful. Setting up gear, taking down gear, maybe helping with stage stuff, or even video, media, audio, all that stuff. Hit us up. Yeah, hit us up. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue onward, though, and we are going to continue to hang around in that part of the country, at least relatively, and we're going to go ahead and bring up the ever amazing Vale Larkin out in Pittsburgh. Vale, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Where are you? So I can highlight you. Oh, there you are. Hey.
Hey.
All right, Vale.
Hey. You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. I'm going to do two today, and the first one, I think I might have done both of these on previous drafts here before, but these are final drafts. The history of languages. Once our awareness of the world was written, storybook shine and fantastical, elaborate calligraphy. Now, click, clack, tapping out our artistry and wishes, we smear intricacies, compress meaning. Heel to toe, we step our way empty, it seems, losing the bric-a-brac from our voices, our rejoicing. But oh, long before the first drops of ink met skin or paper, our languages lived in the world itself, spread out throughout its fractal capillaries, a lacework circulation of understanding. Do you know in the oldest tongues they use sounds we discarded? They say we foolish children dropped paths of toneless exclamations and flourishes along our way into the stark electric future, as though we spit out sparks and they spread everywhere. What a strange evolution from the convolutions we enjoyed. Dental, fricative, elemental, and bone deep. The percussion of everything around us. The great heartbeat, the great breath, sucked down now and spat back as flat, laconic apathy. Do you think it was easier for them to speak with the birds, the thunderclouds, the great stalking stars? We hear silence, or only the faintest meaning. What have we relinquished to the grasping page? What deep matters have we cast aside in our greed or unheeding penmanship? When Eve first called all the animals, could she still pronounce the names they tell us in our dreams? And I have one more. Thank you. One more, and I'm putting a link in chat, and hopefully Richie will copy that to YouTube. I have a really amazing friend named Norm Maddox, who's a brilliant poet and amazing math educator, retired but never really retired. And he published his fourth book, I think it is, Evaporating Rage, recently, and asked me to write a review. And I couldn't. I wrote a poem instead. It just came out that way. So now he's going to use that as the review. So here it is. Evaporating Review on Evaporating Rage by Norm Maddox. I am not a Black man in America. I am not a Black father and teacher in America. Heart split, pieces following each birth child and school child in America down their treacherous paths. I am not a cancer soldier. I don't say survivor. I don't even say warrior, because that implies more glory and less pain than I mean. I am not a Black man anywhere. And so I cannot tell you the heart of this man as he put ink to page, pixels and equations into dreams and whispered thoughts, into poetry, the melodies of the speaker and the listener harmonizing. I cannot know his deeper heart, and yet I know what pain feels like, the sneer of a stranger, and the bone-bound fear and frantic energy when facing a predator, blood on its teeth. I have tasted the rage that comes from betrayal. I am not a math teacher in America, where we mock math nerds and worship the cash grabbers in their glass grid castles. Teach a man to fish and he will tell everyone he invented fishing. Teach a colonizer to fish and they will grab you by the throat, bash you on a mooring cleat, and cast you in, blood swirling and seeping as they run to buy up the ocean. Are we too angry? Is it overwhelming how we bubble and seethe? Can we effervesce to the skies in too violent a fashion? When you apply heat to our lovely, liquid, flowing lives, can you complain when we rise up? Teach a child to fish, and they will surpass you, joyfully flying, your voice their balloon, air and energy, nothing burning up or down. We can grow grain from the ashes, but isn't it better not to be scorched in the first place? Breathe, says the sub-brewer. Breathe, says the maestro. Breathe in your worrisome, painful unmakings and make them analogies, rhymes, grindstones, tools to unwind all their hateful depravities, and remember that nothing is created and nothing destroyed. No law of the universe. Addition, subtraction, mirages and grief. Now he's teaching us to breathe. Breathe in the miasma of memory and wisdom, the steam of our tortured, magnificent lives as we soak the sands with awareness and return moon-drawn to the endless sea before we crash into being once more. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vale. Any plugs or anything really quick? I shared the link. All right, cool, awesome. Oh man, a poem as a review. That's got to start a trend. You know, I really like that. Fire as always. People loving it in the chat. Yeah, throw some fire emojis for sure. Vale Arc and everyone. And if you have any links you want me to share, all of your own links, I'll share that. But for now, I shared the link for the Normatics, Maestro Maddox. What a great tribute poem there with to the review. Okay, I'm starting to mumble now, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. We're going to come back to El Paso for our next performer, and they've been published all over the place, including the Paris Review. And no better promo for Tumblewords than just seeing the work that Robin gets out of it. So without further ado, let's welcome back to the show Robin Schofield. Robin, when you're ready. Happy Monday.
Oh, hi guys. Happy Monday. There's something in my screen that I had to get rid of there. I'm gonna start by reading a couple of poems out of my book, Ridge of High Pressure. And it came out last year from Mouthfeel Press. And so I'm going to read, since it's going to get cold here tomorrow, finally. We're finally going to have our first freeze a month late. I'm going to read this one called Wintry Mix in the Chihuahuan Desert. No one predicted a noon wind chill of 19 degrees, fog, and snow showers. Even now, on television, the forecasters admit their models don't show it, while I hear snow crunch against the window pane like sand swung by a dust devil in the spring. All day I've watched it pile up around the palm tree and on its fronds, a witness to the snow-tipped pines, to the vanished Sierra de los Mansos, socked in by desert snow. The models now say it will end in 7 minutes at 1 p.m., but I don't believe it for 1 minute. I believe that visibility is down to 1 mile, that wind gusts are up to 35 miles an hour. I'm going to drive the Subaru, wear my snow boots, then snuggle up and do Sudoku. Except that the shepherd dog wants his walk, even though snow slants like flecks of white paint artists dab in the eyes of portraits, the light on this fog-bound day, snowing in the freezing Chihuahuan desert. And then this same year, whenever this was, maybe 2016, when I was writing these, and I wrote a lot of them in tumble words. We had fog with ice crystals in it, which fog in the desert is rare in itself, but this one was really rare. Freezing fog in the El Paso desert. The fog that crystals on my face as we walk in the morning weather hides the road. The fog that knocks on the window pane in the gray veil of a wizard who doesn't know which riddle to ask. The fog that grows during the night like a mushroom. The fog that descends fully formed but diaphanous, yet substantive enough to make the mountains disappear, closes Trans-Mountain Road. I asked the fog, the oldest riddle I know, what is it to see? What is it not to see? I see what hides everything. Okay. Oh yeah, and this is a poem from my book Flow, which won the Southwest Book of the Year award in 2019. And this picture is by Sandy Torres, who comes to the open mic sometimes and sometimes comes to this one and usually watches. So thank you, Sandy, for your excellent photographs. And we're in the season, I understand, of Advent. So here's my interpretation of Advent. Ravens are black plums that plummet over waxing pomegranate trees. Cottonwoods quilt the valley yellow, days dying early so people feel trapped. They can't drive over crowded bridges so easily to burnished grapevines, throwing sparks at sunset. The dark comes on like a gully washer. We're 3 weeks short of when the sun turns and the creamy light pours back a little at a time. I feel repentant, St. John chaining the angels, but it's early yet. Okay, so I'm going to read a little cover poem by Emily Dickinson because it was her birthday recently, and it was also, by the way, it was also Rilke's birthday recently. I think they have the same birthday on the 5th. I think that's right. Don't trust me on that. Anyway, this is by Emily Dickinson. I think it's number 960. I think that's what this means. And it's the only poem I like that has heart in it. The heart has narrow banks. It measures like the sea in mighty, unremitting bass and blue monotony, till hurricane bisect, and as itself discerns its insufficient area, the heart, convulsive, learns that calm is but a wall of unattempted gauze. An instant's push demolishes, a questioning dissolves. Wow, still figuring that one out. And do come to Tumblewords this Saturday. It's going to be Kit Wren on the 14th. He's going to do the year in review. That should be nice to get Kit's take on that. He's always up to snuff on what's happening in the literary world. And then the next week, I will be taking the reins, and I'll be doing a workshop in honor of our founder, Donna Snyder. And it's an annual workshop that we do every year. And this year it'll be on the solstice. And that's exciting. Yeah, so that's what I have. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate it. And you did I love that as an ending. I know that Kit often does that. So I love to see that similarity. Yeah, if you guys are watching and you want to just write more, again, even if you've been tuning in, like Tumblewords, make some time and check it out. Generative writing, Kit leading it, Robin leading it. You can't go wrong there for sure. Like your first one, just so you can get a taste and sense of what goes on there. And essentially just, the whole idea is to write something. Don't be judgmental of it. You can just say the shit, read it, you wrote it, you write something, you read it, and that's it. Listen to everyone else what they wrote. And that's often stuff that you can work on and edit later on. But it gives you something to work with. So all you peeps in the chat who maybe you're just hanging out with us, but like have had aspirations to maybe eventually sign up and share something, it's a good way to get some stuff to read. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. Again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to our online mic. We do this every Monday. My name is Richie, host and MC. You can find me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries. And I want to check something really quick. Okay. All right, we're good. I have no idea when I started the show, I had my name right in the middle of the screen. That was new, but it looks like it's good. Oh, also just to go off of Robin's, one of the things Robin said right now, definitely shout out to Sandy in the chat. because in addition to all the stuff that Robin said, you can usually catch Sandy hanging out at any of our downtown mics as well. She's such a big supporter, and sometimes she just kind of stands in the back in a corner. I don't see her till like later, but it's nice to have people there. Now we're gonna go and keep going. Oh yes, sorry. One last thing. EPCC students, stick around. I will mention in the chat how to get the code, and I'll get back to you on that for sure. I promise this time, Anai and others. But let's go ahead and continue. We're actually gonna use the power of Zoom to travel to South Euclid, Ohio, where we have a double poet laureate. Right? Not only is he the poet laureate of South Euclid, Ohio, he is also the poet laureate of Cuyahoga County. Messed it up. Cuyahoga County. Without further ado, here is Doc Janning. When you're ready, take it away, Doc.
It's Cuyahoga. Anyhow, my first poem tonight comes from my first book, Before Today, Beyond Tomorrow. It's not showing too well. Anyhow, it's from Venetian Spider Press. Came out in November of last year, but it would still make a good Christmas present or any holiday present for this year. And the poem is In the Terror and Ecstasy of Being. Love is felt in its presence and its absence. Love is suspended memories, memories written in cryptic calligraphy of time and of places between. Love is the surreality of a nameless world, a world woven in threads of past, present, and future. Love is joy and sorrow, irretrievably linked in the inscape of time. Love is a plane, a state, a choice of existence. And I'll be putting the information about the book in the chat. In the meantime, this is Invocation. In the invocation of galaxies, the rarest stars hold ancient secrets, memories of their odyssey through the universe, and a convergence of change, amid a convergence of change and dreams of future glories. Voices calling in forgotten tones of light, echoing from the greater dark of dimensions within dimensions. Visions lined in clouds of gas and dust, the womb and cradle of new stars amid the debris of those long gone. Moments of the bright silence of before and the steady state dark of entropy, condensed, distilled into but one, and they become. This is Distant Rumor. Night enrobes earth, hour by hour, in ancient diurnal cycle, samsara of time. Stars, like grains of sand, are scattered across Mazarine tapestry of sky. The moon, in silvered panoply, sails majestically through the stars. O'er the horizon of the east, dawn is but a distant rumor, meditation of life. And sacred songs of stars sing us to sleep and to dreams of the future. And since Robin mentioned winter coming to you folks, this is winter warmth. Winter bares its icy teeth. Chill winds sweep across the land, down our streets and lanes. No more the gentle caress of the year's halcyon days. And nature sleeps neath the hemamancy of frigid white. It is a time for pyromancy, of home and hearth, for hot stews and soups, for hot beverages, and the adventure of books. Sorry. It is a time for family and friends, for snuggling with children and pets, for warm blankets and the amamancy of each other. It is a time for dreams and to anticipate the warm cocooning of spring. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doc. Anything to promote this week, or your links? How can people connect with you online?
Well, it's Doc Janning on Facebook if they want to connect there. That's the only major place I work through right now. And I don't have anything special coming up immediately. I will put the information about my book in the chat. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate that. Really quick. Oh, what's up, Ramon? Welcome to the. I saw you earlier in the chat. I forgot to give you a shout out. So hello, Ramon. Good to have you, Jacqueline, as well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Anahi. Welcome back. Jacqueline, I posted the instructions, so you can check that in the live chat in case you missed it. We're gonna go ahead and keep this night going, and we're gonna go ahead and visit someone we haven't seen in a while. They're joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina, and they have a website, Instagram. We'll share those after they perform. But it's good to see the return of Nemo Some Words. Welcome back. Welcome back. Go ahead and take it away.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful poetry tonight. Absolutely. I have a sequence of micropoems. When my father decided it was time to go, he went. There was no hug that would hold him, but I did make him cry. On the day he walked away, he turned back with tears in his eyes. I think in that moment, leaving me hurt. Knowing this was the forever kind of goodbye stung him a little bit. A few tears on a causeway shed for a son who was never good enough for him to stay. All the grass was dead, and the air was only slightly cold under a silent gray sky. I walked and I smoked. The heart in my chest was freshly broken, still all jagged edges, and I wanted to rip it out to stop it from hurting. As the sky darkened, twinkle lights fought back with their little pools of defiant color. He has so much potential, they said. If only he would apply himself. But I didn't. Books stayed closed, and I played imaginary games with imaginary friends whose mothers waved from imaginary porches. I wish I could say I defied my parents all along, but there was so much shame and too much doubt. So many times my face burned with their disappointment, my head bowed by their guilt. I learned to fight myself, learned to hate the dreamer who looked out the window instead of working, foreshadowing the day I would stare into the distance, an unmarked test in front of me, penned down, heartbroken the day after my father left for good. My anonymity became my refuge. Odysseus said it to save his life. When he got home, he killed everyone. I say it to save my dignity. There is no one who calls me son. Someday, somebody, maybe. For now, I am no one. For 20 years, I sat at the stoplight near my home watching the leaves change and the trees turn into forests of pharmacies. Always turning left, blinker clicking on and off and watching clouds while waiting. Now I go straight through the light in silence, driving home and away from where my heart is. My decorations are staying in the closet this year, packed up pieces of a previous life. My childhood decorations are in a box in my mother's garage somewhere. They haven't been unpacked in 30 years. My children's tree has 20 years worth of celebrations hanging on its branches, but there aren't pictures of me in the house anymore. And I have to drive home after they've been nestled all snug in their beds. I got blown free by the explosion of another family. Or maybe I was cast far enough out that the place I lived is only a speck in the distance. Or maybe that's a tree. I never wanted to be cold again, walking these empty streets. I never thought I'd be standing on the wrong side of the glass once more, looking into what it must be like to be together. Thank you.
All right, all right. Oh, thank you, thank you. You have your website and your Instagram. Do you want to promote anything else really quick, or are those things?
Nope, I'm all good. I'll put them in the chat.
For sure. Cool. And I already copied and pasted those on the YouTube chat. So if you want to go check out Nemo Sum's website as well as Instagram, keep up with everything. All right. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is our online open mic. Happy to have you guys here. We got some more performers, and I got to make sure I keep up with, because we got new people signing up, and I might be missing people. So shoot me a reminder if I missed that. We are going to go ahead and bring up someone who's been name dropped. Usually at these shows is usually name dropped several times by the time it gets to his turn, and that's kind of cool. He will be leading an upcoming Tumble Awards, but he just kind of in general leads Tumble Awards. You know him as Mr. Monday Night. Without further ado, here is Kit Ren. Kit, take it away, my friend.
Thanks very much, Richie. Hang on, gotcha. There we go. Yes, thanks very much, Richie. Thanks to everyone before and everyone after. And hello to everyone watching. And to those of you watching the replay, hello. Tell me how the future is. Is it safe? Never mind, I want to be surprised. But yeah, I'll do two of mine and then two covers. Sort of a last minute decision. But where'd it go? Here it is. I sit in the forest talking of death, which is monotonous. Everyone in the forest already knows about death and is trying not to point out the things I'm getting wrong. The trees all know about death. They make a pageant of it every winter. Desperate to teach, but instead they just dazzle. They regard me as the lout at the wedding. They are unsure whose cousin I am. The animals know death. They associate it with me. They run or they rattle. They treat me like a door-to-door salesman, loudly proclaiming their annoyance in order to divert a stronger fear. I am speaking nonsense. I know it too. I know death, but I pretend I don't, because I want to embarrass it socially. I want it to feel anxious when it approaches me, to shirk away like a clumsy servant, and not remind me why I can't ask for advice from the only other person to have my job title. I know death. I pretend I don't. Instead, I gossip maliciously, I lie, I tell my lies to the bare trees and the hibernating snakes, willing to trade looking foolish for feeling powerful. I don't. I gradually abandoned fiction because once I made a man, he had to die. Whether I wrote about it or not, it was going to happen. And I was responsible. I had put him carelessly in time's riptide and had to watch, unable to reply to his gurgling pleas. This is why God is cranky all the time. Why he refuses to answer direct questions. Frankly, he resents all of us. He took us one day for a hobby, and over eons, we became a job. Two covers. The first one, I found out about 10 minutes before we opened the Zoom room that Nikki Giovanni died. And so I do want to, put her in the record, so to speak, and made a very short Nikki Giovanni poem. This is Allowables by Nikki Giovanni. I killed a spider. Not a murderous brown recluse, nor even a black widow. And if the truth were told, this was only a small sort of papery spider who should have run when I picked up the book. But she didn't. And she scared me. And I smashed her. I don't think I'm allowed to kill something because I am frightened. So, rest in peace to Nikki Giovanni, 81, a good innings, as they say. But to end on a slightly more cheerful note, I hope, as Richie has mentioned, it is finals week for the EPCC system. I don't know about you, Ted. It's none of my business. But there's a poem I like to read on finals week just to give everyone a bit of, just to let the students know that the professors are human too, and to let the professors know that, hey, we're in this together. This is Robert Frost by George Bilger. Over there on the dining room table are just 25 of the thousands of essays on the poetry of Robert Frost produced this week alone in the USA, the world leader in essays about Robert Frost. The essays are about ambiguity in The Road Not Taken, and also ambiguity in Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Every year, the English majors of America must read these poems and analyze their ambiguity, or compare and contrast their ambiguity in 5 double-spaced pages. And the English teachers of America must read these pages and determine whether they are incisive or not incisive. I am one of those teachers. I try to do my share. Because if we don't do this, if Frost's ambiguity is not discussed, and if these discussions are not assessed and then finally graded, well, what's the point of all this? What are we doing here? Therefore, I must walk over to the dining room table and determine whether the essays are incisive or not incisive. And yet 2 days have passed, an entire weekend, and it's Sunday evening, and I am having a glass of wine. And the essays on ambiguity and the poetry of Robert Frost remain unassessed by me. this is getting very serious. Right. Find me on Instagram at Kit Ran Away. On Blue Sky at the same handle. Find me on Facebook easy enough because that's my name. There's like two others. They're lame. They're pretenders. They're copying me. And let's see. Tumblewords this Saturday. The world famous, I suppose. It's going to be me leading it. I call it the Year in the Review. It's a fun little thing. We're going to just look at the National Book Awards, look at their titles, because you know what? You can just take a title. No one's looking. Go ahead. Do it right now. And just sort of, you know, it's important to me to realize that literature is still going on, that it's not this dead thing. It's not all essays about Robert Frost. But I like Robert Frost too. I don't mean to. I like a lot of things. I'm easy. That's all. And then yes, as Robin mentioned, she'll be leading the December 21st Writing for the Dark Times workshop, which is dedicated to Tumbleweed's founder and leader for 26 of its 28, 27 of its 29 years, Donna Snyder. So that should be pretty good. Yeah, I think that's all I have for right now. And we'll kick it back to Richie.
All right, thank you, Kid. Sounds like you got a little bit of that Tom Waits gravel in your voice there at the end. But yeah, it's been a while, but I have a beer, so cheers. Thanks for that piece. Here's a little Dead Beach, one of our local brewers. This is a Chuco Lager. Goes down really nicely. So salute if you guys got one. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue onward. Our next performer is a dope poet. I really love what he does. He recently got back into it and being a teaching artist, and it's kind of really fun to see him doing this, but also like starting some open mics that he runs on Mondays. Joining us from Falls Church, Virginia, we have a wall poet in the house. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be back. So as you mentioned, it's just started running an open mic once a month, so kind of cool. But you know, when I'm available, I definitely like hitting this up, so it's pretty fun. All right, so I have some pieces. The first one I want to do, it's called In the Fourth Grade, and it's kind of just different how I did it this time because I'm also a teacher. So in the past, when I've written stuff, I've written things first, and then if I want to, I'll kind of edit it and like do something more for children. It's kind of the opposite. It was kind of more for like a younger audience, and then I went back and added a couple of stanzas that I thought would like be more something that I would, you know, be able to perform. You know. So, anyways, yeah, let's go. In the fourth grade. In the fourth grade, I was as tall as a tree stump, and a kid the size of a sequoia was my personal bodyguard because my grandmother paid him in Rocky Road ice cream. In the fourth grade, I moved to a new school where kids cared if your clothes were fresh to death, and it became routine to get asked, so you didn't wear that shirt on Monday, right? In the fourth grade, I went from listening to Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard to Naughty by Nature and Black Sheep. In the fourth grade, Foursquare and dodgeball games were legendary, and I developed cat-like reflexes to avoid a dodgeball smashing into my face in front of a crowd of kids who would talk about it for at least a week. And there were at least two different girls I had a crush on, one of whom which used to decorate her long braid with a purple beret and used to kick the back of my chair daily to pretend she didn't do anything whenever I turned around. In the fourth grade, I had pizza on Fridays, and I used to wash it down with chocolate milk that I drank from a tiny straw. In the fourth grade, I mastered my multiplication tables and presented a book report dressed as the main character to the entire class, complete with an oversized suit, fake glasses, and a drawn-on mustache. In the fourth grade, I had yet to meet poetry, but had already discovered how reading your words aloud could create a spotlight over your head and pull your audience forward like magnets, forcing them to pay attention. In the 4th grade, my teacher told my parents, Wally's very creative, but gets distracted way too easily. And in the 4th grade, I wasn't awful at school yet. I just knew that it took me longer to get work done and used to often find my homework crumpled up like treasure maps at the bottom of my book bag. And many years later, I somehow became a teacher. And now that I teach 4th graders, I often see a reflection of myself. And I'm able to see 4th graders differently from everybody else. It's as if I have my own personal time machine because I'm able to see them as artists, actors, teachers, and maybe even poets. All right. This other one is something I wrote today, just kind of for fun. I've only written one other ode poem type before. So I know the ones that I found interesting were Paulo Neruda ones where he would talk about ordinary objects. This is me trying to do that. We'll see how it goes. All right. This is called Ode to a Dry Erase Marker. Dry erase marker, a teacher's best friend, dependable and able to slide into the pocket of shirts, taking a siesta before showtime, directly responsible for turning any ordinary space into a classroom, especially when it's perfectly paired with a whiteboard, like a Pinot Noir paired with roasted duck. Dry erase marker, easily erased by hand, whether being used for mathematical formulas or for basic phonics instruction, still capable of getting the job done. Dry erase marker, my washing machine can't stand you, nor the pockets of my new jeans, yet still can transform any mini lesson to an interactive learning extravaganza. Dry erase marker, when I hand you to my students, it's like I'm handing them relay sticks and it's off to the races they go, much more engrossing than the monotony of pencil and paper. And pencil only comes in a shade of gray. Dry erase marker comes in every hue of the visible portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Dry erase marker can make ADHD manageable and gives those with an aversion to writing a much more enjoyable alternative. Dry erase marker, I don't feel prepared without them. The perfect backup plan when the smartboard fails to turn on, and instead of feeling like in the Middle Ages, dry erase marker can at least make it feel like 2008, and that's not a bad thing. All right. The other one was a poem that I did here a couple weeks ago, and then I revised it and I performed it for some kids at the job I have on at the school. So I kind of like it. It was pretty much the same, but I made some revisions, so I kind of like the revisions. All right. It's called I Want to Write a Poem. I want to write a poem, not thinking of meter or rhyme, or spend hours obsessing over the first 2 or 3 lines over and over again. I want to write a poem that makes me laugh out loud as I come up with each line, and like static electricity makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. I want to write a poem and not feel guilty if it doesn't include every example of figurative language or use all the elements of poetry at the same time. I want to write a poem and not worry if a publishing editor will love my work. Maybe an audience loving it can be enough. I want to write a poem for me and not solely write for an audience, though the reaction of an audience is honestly one of the big reasons I write. I want to write a poem where the words take the shape of a dragon as it's read, rising from the page while blowing clouds of smoke over your head. I want to write a poem that allows me to levitate on stage while holding a microphone in my hand. I want to write a poem that makes me forget that I used to be terrified of performing for an audience. See, this is the poem I want to write. A poem that takes no prisoners, a poem that breaks conventions. This is the poem I need to write, express, perform. A poem that grabs you by the shirt collar and forces you to pay attention. And then I have a short one, and then I want to do a cover poem. So hopefully y'all are still with me. All right. This is one I wrote a while ago. And it's called Brevity, and you're right. Short. I once thought a lengthy poem proved sophistication. Any shorter, and you must be a novice. That was before I read poems that unfolded like maps, that told stories through words that sprinkle the page like powdered sugar on empanadas. Sometimes less is more, and imagery can breathe in the tiniest of cross spaces of your mind. Okay. And then I wanted to do a cover poem. And then I've kind of been getting into these cover poems are kind of fun. And this one was by Pablo Neruda. And this was like a poet a long time ago when I was much younger and I was writing stuff at like a poetry mentor. He's like, you really should read Pablo Neruda. So yeah, so this is my Pablo Neruda poem. It's called Ode to Tomatoes. Parsley hoists its flag, potatoes bubble vigorously. The aroma of the roast knocks at the door. It's time, come on. And on the table at the midpoint of summer, the tomato, star of earth, recurrent and fertile. Star displays its convolutions, its canals, its remarkable amplitude and abundance. No pit, no husk, no leaves or thorns. The tomato offers its gift, a fiery color and cool completeness. All right. So if y'all are interested in finding out more of my stuff, I'm at Walpoet at Instagram, Walpoet82 on IG. I'm at Walpoet.press at WordPress. Also started hosting an open mic in Georgetown just last month. I do it once a month on Mondays, last Monday of every month. It's at the church I happen to go to. It has been pretty fun. So hopefully I'll slowly get better at hosting, and definitely I borrow all the great ideas I see from you, Richie, and all the stuff. So anyways, that's it. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Always, I love it. I love it so much. I think a lot of people here in the Zoom chat, as well as on YouTube, were able to relate to a lot of that. It inspired me to think about that dodgeball question. What's the onomatopoeia of a dodgeball? It's kind of fun to like a cool little creative activity because it does make a unique sound. I guess it also depends who or what it's hitting, right? Awesome, yeah. No, amazing poems. I love that Neruda piece as well. I lost my train of thought. I was going to add to that, but as always, thanks for joining us. Well put. Oh, you had a new website on there. I wanted to ask you about that. That you added, herdnova.org. You could just type it in the chat if you want. Okay, we're going to come back to Texas, where we have Lara Lynette, who's been making waves with her music. She's got a music video on the way pretty soon that we're really looking forward to, a collaboration with the amazing Henry Thing, and super nice dude. But yeah, let's go ahead and make some space and welcome back to the show, Lara Lynette. Hey, happy Monday.
Hey, happy Monday, Richie, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being such a guardian of art and people, and putting your protective arms around all of us, Richie. You do that, and it's really amazing. And I don't know why I'm getting so emotional right now. Depression is my friend. I have a few songs that have come out of really, really dark spaces, and so I'm going to play a couple of those songs that are from the series of sermons to myself, since they're kind of preachy, but they're preachy. I'm preaching to myself. I haven't played this one in a long time. I came across it today because it's been kind of one of those times. And so this is called Do Better. Do better. Do a little better. Do a little better every day. Get up in the morning, rise up in the morning, get up in the morning and say, I'm gonna do a little better today. When you fall down, don't have to stay flat on your back. Oh no, no. If you slip off, can always get right back up on that track. Take one step forward, just one step onward. Take that step and you're on your way. You can do it. You know you can really do it. You can keep that darkness at bay. If you'll just do better today. When you fall down, don't have to stay flat on your back. No, 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 no. If you slip off, can always get right back up on that track. We can always find the reasons not to try. Just keep moving on, you just have to modify. Believe and fly. Do better, do a little better, just do a little better every day. Get up in the morning, rise up every morning. Get up every morning and say, I'm going to do a little better today. Do better, just do a little better. Do a little better today. Do better. Strawny. Thank you. So this is an older one. Same kind of preachy thing. It's called Change the Score. It's on the disc Paso Memory. I think I've played it here before. Are you doing all you can do today? Are you being everything that you can be? Have you got enough of what you want from life? Have you seen all the sights you long to see? 'Cause if you do all you can, well, then it's done. If you have been everything, just look what you become. And if there are things that you are not willing to settle for, then watch the score. Have you taken the time to share some joy? Have you sung a song of love? Are you thinking in terms of betterment? Are you holding the light above? 'Cause if you take the time, well then you will laugh. Just a little tune can be a great big life raft. And if there are things that you are still willing to settle for, then you know the score. Let go of all your struggle and you ain't got time to lose. Leave all those hesitations and you will find the clues. For only you, are you spreading any hope around? Are you giving any thought, hey, yes, I could start right now. Have you taken leave of all your sins? 'Cause if you are spreading hope, well, you will be fulfilled. And if you are giving praise, all blessings on you will spill. And if there are things that you are not willing to settle for, change the score. Are you doing all you can do today? Are you giving everything that you can be? Have you got enough of what you want from life? Have you seen all of the sights you long to see? 'Cause if you do all you can, well, then it's done. And if you have been everything, just look what you've become. And if there are things that you are not willing to settle for, then change the score. Just change the score. Just change the score. Change the score. Oh, just change. Change the score. Thanks, y'all, for listening. Thanks, Richie. Appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate you. I mean, everyone's always just enchanted, when you come and do your thing. Lara Lynette Music 44 on Instagram. You can also find her YouTube channel, Lara Lynette Music. We will link it. I was a little distracted because I was reading along the lyrics. Sorry, that was a terrible way of. Oh, I messed that up so bad. Look at that. Remember some of you guys remember this? Booklets, right? CDs. That's right. I have in my possession this awesome CD that Lara was mentioning, Paths of Memory, and I love it. The lyrics are in here, so I was like, "Oh, you're okay. You're singing from that. Okay, I have the lyrics right here." There was a special ritual back in the day when you got a CD and you had time to yourself to listen to the whole album, and you go along with the book and like flip along and read, and just there was something special about that I feel maybe isn't the same as much. So I appreciate this. This was a wonderful gift, Lara. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Richie, for everything you do. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you. All right, that was rightfully so sentimental portion. Yeah, we were all feeling a little bit of that power in music, right? To hold that emotion and convey it. All right, we are going to continue onward. We have some more people that have signed up. In fact, we have another familiar face that it's been a little while. I've been able to see her around, but she's also a teacher. She does workshops for anyone who she feels like doesn't know how to use their voice, their own potential. Like there's some powerful stuff in her poetry as well. I've always really enjoyed it. And she's going to be leading a workshop with Tumble Words pretty soon in January. So wait, is she still here? Am I doing a big intro and she's not here? Oh no, I don't think she's here. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to Melody. Right? Or am I tripping? Okay. I don't see her. She was here earlier. She signed up, but I'll tell you what. We're going to be here next Monday, and the Monday after that, and the Monday after that. So it's hard sometimes to stay on or internet. So we'll see. Maybe she'll log in if there's an internet thing. If not, all the love to Melody. I know she has a bunch of other stuff going on as well. But let's go ahead and continue and see if she makes it back. But right now we're gonna go ahead and in that case go to Canada, where our next performer is putting together her next workshop. And I'll let her tell you more about it. But we have Cassie in La Casa once again. Cassie, when you're ready, go. Wait, Is Cassie not here either? Oh man, that's hilarious. I know Cassie has why her phone kicks her off every now and then. This is fun, guys. Anyway, if you're tuning in, if you're on YouTube with us right now, I shared a link to our Google Calendar. In addition to these online mics every Monday, we do have in-person open mics in El Paso. So if you guys are ever looking for anything to do, or if you have friends or family who might want to catch an open mic in person, it's a variety show, right? You get a little bit of everything. Check out our Google Calendar. The link that I shared, you can subscribe to. Something I like to do. I like to subscribe to calendars, and the way with Google Calendar, I know with on my phone, I can like check and uncheck calendars, so like they're not visible all the time. But if I want to see something for reference, I can check mark it and it will appear, so I can kind of keep track of stuff. I'm stalling because we got Cassie getting back into the room right now. But yeah, we have a Google Calendar. We have a link tree. A link tree is a really good way to stay on top of stuff as well. I post the link there first. The very first place I post a link to sign up for these mics is on Linktree. There is an option to subscribe. When you subscribe, right now we have quite a few subscribers actually. So whenever I put a new link, I notify people. You can sign up as an email or even a text message. In addition to that, we have a bunch of other interesting links like media, some of the other kind of videos that we do, not related to the online mic, and ways you can also support the mic, ways to tip or donate. We also have, it's a little weird, we have an Amazon wish list. So little things here and there that if any angel donors out there in the world, want to support, just random like gear that is often needs to be replaced, wears out, or it's also like a wish list. Like, ooh, that'd be kind of nice to have. That I wouldn't necessarily buy myself, or is like, part of the current land. Okay, we got Cassie. Cassie, are you ready? Oh, Melody's here too. Oh, getting into the room. Okay, so we'll get Cassie up first, and then we'll bring in Melody. Cassie, what's up? How you doing? How you living?
Hi. Sorry. So bad. I had the live on my TV, like when my phone died, and I was like, no, I gotta get on there. Because I could hear
It's
you
all good.
talking, and I was pissed. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Thank you for thank you for calling. Okay. Okay. I was ready, but then my phone gave up on me. Okay. This first poem, my apologies, just give me one moment here. Okay. This first poem, first of all, sorry, can you hear me okay? Just want to make sure that I'm good to go.
Is that a robot talking? No, it's fine. I'm just kidding. That we can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. This first poem is called Passing Through. Time offers you passage through here. If you are not careful, the pages of the calendar will flip by. While your back is turned or while you are watching TV, it doesn't much care what you're doing, who you haven't met yet, what you would have liked to carve out of your existence. It has offered you a ride, and there is no point in asking the attendant to slow things down or to let you stop and look out for a while. When it is over, you won't even get a souvenir picture. The best you can do is take in all the sights as they blur by, the wash of vibrant colors, enticing hazy lights, and enjoy the feeling of your skin vibrating, the rush of passing through as a grain of sand through the hands of time. Okay. I'm a little bit thrown off by my technical difficulties here. Just 1 second. The second poem is called Beyond the Window Pane. If you remember anything, chances are it will be the times that you looked to see past the fogging storefront window on a dark and rainy street, the kind with stark stillness but for the gentle accompaniment of rain that leaves more than enough room to feel all the space inside, and the echoes, stifling ring, the kind that is normally tuned out by the flooding of daylight and rushing traffic, and the hum of the incessant bees working tirelessly in your mind, the type of night that affords the stretching of your, the type of night that affords the stretching of your unease across damp pavement long enough for you to see its form, its reach unfurled, inviting you to step gently across it, to examine its length, to be humbled by its great expanse, the kind of outstretch unsettling in its immensity enough that you find yourself turning inevitably to the unusually intriguing, to see the oh my gosh. Sorry, one moment. Apologize. Unsettling enough in its immensity that you find yourself turning inevitably to the unusually intriguing, to see beyond the obscure, darkened, hollow storefront window that it turns out is you, hoping that you are brave enough to look closer into space. With exploration, even momentary habitation. Okay. This last poem of mine is called Beyond Time. Again, I am just making sure I have everything in front of me. Usually like to be a little more organized than this. Okay. Just one moment. And I'm so scattered that I said the wrong title. This poem is called Borrowing Time. I managed to wrangle a clandestine meeting with Father Time's granddaughter beneath Grand Central Station. She cautioned me that we must keep it quick. We don't have long. When I showed up late, she was kneeling, feeding some sort of cheese to a sticky sewer rat. As I approached, she looked up from her squeaking friend and said, "So you're looking for advice?" Not exactly, I replied. Not exactly, I replied, but I wondered if you might know how one could stumble upon the kind of insight that blinds you with elation, lifts your feet above hot pavement, without spending quite so many years. Be it an illusion sold by the snake oil salesman himself, sure, be it the kind of epiphany that keeps resurrecting, but doesn't like to hang around. Is it possible to hold on to that insight long enough to at least absorb its essence? Can one ever find that elusive space between present and ready? Would he allow it? In a tone that reflected she saw herself as a curious, casual spectator, she offered, "Do you think procrastination reappears to humans because the universe keeps whispering in your ear, don't let go of your grip on this moment quite yet? And when you heed the call of procrastination, do you think you might be trying to manufacture extra moments to stash for later, since you're all so used to running on a deficit? Perhaps it is your naive attempt at cheating the old man." I considered this theory briefly before more questions bubbled to the surface of my mind. Can one ever learn that those bonus laters never materialize? Imagine not, for it would put Kronos out of business. Can one ever fully realize that they've been kidding themselves, trying to barter with Father Time? Ever uttering, "I'll trade you this later for more now," pretending that the deal has already been sealed. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. I do have one more poem as long as I'm okay on time. I know I ask that, and I probably read faster than I think I do. But I will ask. Do you think I know you're not timing it, but am I okay for time? Or?
This is your last one, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kit. Sorry, I guess I don't usually try and put so much in here. Okay. So this is called Don't Think by Elisa Gambert. One way to fall asleep is paradoxical intention, trying not to fall asleep. So the thinking goes, this reduces your performance anxiety. The question is, who are you fooling? You really want to fall asleep. If sleep were performance for God, the instructions on a sleep mask say, you still need to close your eyes. I wish the pink light of sunrise lasted longer, the warm pink of in-between. One way to fall asleep is to say, don't think, over and over to yourself. The instructions say, try to practice it mindlessly. In sleep becomes an everlasting interlude, an eternal in-between. I read that staring into space can help, but can't remember what it helps with, thinking or not thinking. Not thinking is the closest we can get to stopping time. All I know of time is in my mind is all I know. Only 15 minutes to go. I had no idea it was going to snow, and yesterday, what did we believe? It's so easy to forget, as if it were a dream. The future wasn't obvious, and the old snow on the mountains that never would melt, it didn't look real. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll be more mindful of time in the future. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that that was a quick ending. It's okay, Cassie, because normally your hold on, sorry, I'm getting back on here. Normally your sets are super fast. You're like blah blah blah, you say it and you're done and that's it. Follow Cassie at Relentless Intrigue on Instagram. Be up to date with a workshop that I think she has planned pretty soon. So I'm glad you were able to make it. I don't know how many times they've been back to people not here, but both of them made it back. So we're gonna go ahead and hand it over to Melody. Did a whole intro, but love what you do, Melody. And we're looking forward to hearing more about your Tumblewords workshop. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome back to the Monday night online mic.
Hi guys, it's been a long time. It's good to see you. So I've been in this place lately. I work with geriatric patients right now, and I used to work with kids, so it's been this huge transition for me, but like also not really. And it's really interesting to see the juxtaposition between those who are advanced age and those who are younger and what we have in common. And so a lot of what I've been writing recently, I have these little prompts that I kind of leave myself all over. And then thanks to, our host Kit with Tumblewords and being able to come together, I take some of those little prompts and work on them. So these tend to be kind of like, the couple pieces I'm going to read are kind of talking about where I am generationally, the recognition that I'm getting older, the recognition that that's awesome, and then the recognition that that sucks. So I tucked myself into bed with blankets of darkness, of galaxies. I aged until I was no longer a satellite from an original, until I became a constellation of my own. Shapes tinkered together so things make sense. So we don't let go of one another. And sometimes we have to let go. I used to think I was a generational curse breaker until my child started talking with their therapist about things I thought only my mom did. But I'm still so proud of them for recognizing truth much earlier than 30 rotations before I could say, you have no power over me. The way Sarah once said it and meant it. Labor of love. So we're watching a dramatized birth on television, my Judy and I. My Judy's my 12-year-old. And my little one looked over at me and said, "Sheesh, mama, it really looks like having a kid is a lot of stress on your body. I'm really glad that I can't have babies because that looks really, really hard." And I said, "Nah, baby, it's a labor of love." And my little one said, "What does that mean?" And if this were a 90s sitcom, I would start to sing and introduce the concept in some 30-second vague generalization before I begin pantomiming the parts that I want you to see. But in a moment of probably some of the rawest intimacy that I get to have with my children, because let's face it, there's just so little time for intimacy anymore. It's become an inconvenience, and we can feel it, and the world is suffering. I mean, side note, what I wouldn't give to put the world in my front carrier and make tortillas and water the yard while she took a nap and just give her some time to rest. I think she deserves somebody else taking care of her for a while. And no. Anyway, but back to my story. A labor of love, my darling, my poopy pants, my Judy booty baby mama. Okay, sorry. A labor of love is, when you work, but you like it. No. It's like when something is hard, but not that hard. Okay, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. Remember when you made dinner for the very first time out of the Deadpool cookbook and you did everything from cracking the eggs to dipping the chicken and even frying it using those really long tongs? Note, with me standing right there, please don't call CPS. I promise I was overseeing the whole thing. And note. And by the time you were done, you didn't feel tired and you weren't complaining and you were proud and you were beaming and you wanted to plan every meal from here until the end of eternity. Note, that lasted maybe a couple of weeks, but they're still a great cook. And note, yeah, well, it's like that. Whoa. But better because we got chicken strips that night, but the world got you. Note, I lost the child a millisecond after whoa to Adventure Time, but the sentiment still stands. And then I'm going to read a last one about shoes. But of course, as you know, it's never just about shoes. So this is particularly about a pair of red patent leather shoes that I found that fit me so perfectly at Savers, and we all know what a fucking miracle that is. So thrifting is my jam. I kid you not. I meditate in the car before I go in because I usually know exactly what my wardrobe is lacking. I'm a little bit of a drag king, and I also really dislike shopping. So it's become sort of a game where I find the pieces and I count the squares to check back out. One day, though, one glorious day, I found this pair of size 8.5 red patent leather Italian shoes. And they felt like butter and they fit me like a glove. Now, I don't mean to sound cliche, but it really was perfect. And I thought, this right here, this is magic. Not the shoes, but this moment of joy from a treasure found. And I wear them still when I need to be reminded of that. That magic is real and I have it, and so do you. And someone's old shoes, which now have little hair splits in the soles, become a regular conversation piece, whose childlike legend allows our patients to see the human in me like, hey, I wear shoes too, right? Savers, $4, I know. And I get to see a hair of their soles.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's magical. I love that. Melody, is there anything you want to promote? You talked about people possibly hitting you up for other
Oh, yes.
workshops or yeah.
So I also do workshops, I've been trying to kind of keep them off Instagram though, because I keep getting blocked. But there are workshops that teach people how to have an individual voice, how to stand up against those in authority, those who stand up in positions of power, and how to kind of work with power differentials to even out playing fields. It's never a comfortable thing. It's always super uncomfortable, but that's kind of what it's for, is for us to be uncomfortable together. So I just started teaching those workshops again, and I'll start putting out places and dates soon. But on a slightly different note, Kit has wonderfully and awesomely, and I can see you bending down to look over here, Kit, offered to let me talk to you a little bit about aging, and what that means and how we look at it and how we tend to kind of build these hard striations between them as though they were not one part of the same cycle, but as though they were two, three, four, however many separate epics, I guess. And so we're going to be writing a little bit about that. And I believe it's January 4th. I don't have my calendar, right? January 4th? January 4th, 1 o'clock, 1 to 3. And then Kit always posts the link and everything there. So if you want to come and kind of see how we lead workshops or how I lead these workshops, you're welcome to come and see them. Or if you're interested in any of the other social work, let me know and we can build something together. And I think that's it. Thank you.
How would people hit you up also if they want to connect with you?
Duh. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm Wrecking Bell online, or Wreck It Bell. Melody Gomez. So you can message me. I'll put my information and email in the chat just in case anybody's interested. But otherwise, most of the people that I see here, I really, really admire you guys, and I'm glad I got to come in here and hang out with you for a little bit.
Is muted. That's beautiful. Thank you, Melody. Very cool. Yeah. Looking forward to that. One of my favorite things about Tumble Words is we hand the keys off to people. I don't say not we, but getting other people a chance to talk about a topic or issue or highlight a specific writer or poet or theme. It's pretty nice. So yeah, it's great seeing you, Melody. I know you talked about some helping out stuff on Fridays, but we'll talk more about that later. Anyway, we are going to continue onward with our online mic. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We are here every Monday. So if you feel like you want to be part of this show in the future, it's very easy to sign up. All you have to do is look for that link. Like I said earlier, if you follow our link tree, which I have linked in the live chat, it's available pretty much on our social media. Somewhere you can find it. That's the first place I post the link. So be on the lookout for that. You can subscribe. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel because I post the live stream a day before, and as soon as you see it in the description, there's also a link to sign up there. But I'm grateful for people like Mike Sindler who keep me in check. If I forget to post early enough, he sends a nice, friendly, gentle reminder through social media. So thanks, Mike. But yeah, if you guys ever want to be part of this, it's hopefully low stakes, low key, and everyone's so supportive, and hopefully you get addicted and keep coming all the time. There is something nice to just be able to vent and share stuff and have a little bit of an audience for the stuff you're working on. All right. And of course, we have the legendary after party. After the stream ends, we kind of hang out for a little bit, chat. It's a cool way to bounce ideas off, maybe share material that we didn't share during the mic. A lot of time I fall asleep because I'm so tired and busy. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue because we are going to visit our friend in Washington, D.C., who is just so fantastic. That's right. It's Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, man.
Thank you, my brother, like no other words like thunder, and everyone did a wonderful job. Woo! All right, my name is Ed Potastic. I hope everyone feeling fantastic. Please get a time to join my rhyme 5 sublime. I got 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. My first poem is called Sympathy of Poetry. Poetry is livelier than any sunflower rose, while any explanation or logic goes. The sweet sympathy of pure creativity, so appreciate the effects and the sensitivity. Sharp words fly straight to the heart, rain down through skies of their art. Each word's covered in emotions, like fishes dancing in clear ocean. Seeding a bouquet of colorful flowers, blossoming in magnificent array of power. Writing and reading like dancing and singing. The parade of words is only the beginning. Notebooks teleport us into a literary world, page jumping off insightful and delightful spirals, shared by concrete or imaginative minds, lessons grow in very personal design. The pleasure of constable, desirable writing, powers of free verse, limerick, haiku, or rhyming, reinventing tales of new, personal, and old, polishing them to shine like luminous gold. Oh, poetry, your luminous verbal melody, ears full of worldly fireworks, a complete harmony, the lines song this ugly yet beautiful universe, flowing words of true verse, going straight on course. Please downpours a radiant sight of weather, shower us till we're rather or feel even better. Thank you. And my other one is called Lyrical Butterflies. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, music, what can I say about you? You make me happier than a fish swimming in deep blue. Our music's harmony to all our ears, exterminates our darkest fears, it leads us into happy tears. Music can send fires to our hearts, our big warm hug. It can kill the inner trauma or the toxic bugs. Music gives us safe space. It gives a vibrant room to elevate, concentrate, and meditate with extra grace. Music gives us nostalgia in a more surreal time. It reminds us we are aligned in our physical and mental prime. Music can raise ocean, destroy mountains, and set off volcanoes. It's hard to believe just from listening to a few notes. Music can make you move and groove a billion times. It's deep in our roots, kind of like these rhymes. Music gives us a moment to express ourselves in this ugly yet beautiful world. It can inspire and teach any little boy or girl. Music is art in its own unique and luminous form to break out of our boring dorms. It could be a radiant sun or a chaotic storm, but listen, in order to transform, is the air we breathe and food we eat, is the senses that freeze our bodies or burn our feet. Music is a performance that's happening inside our minds. Actually, it's like this poetry. You can feel the ember going up our spines. Music is, wait, don't just take my word for it, but put on your headphones or earbuds and immerse yourself in the musical blue. Let the notes go through and around you in order to get lost inside your whimsical cocoon. Thank you. And my last one is called first last. We're always behind in the back of our minds. We can't stay blind by the rushing tide. We're all winners. We're all beginners. We're not losers. We're not snoozers. We have unique skills. We can help or kill. We send chills or thrills. We the queens or kings of the hill. Don't be belittled by society. Don't understand variety. Don't understand who you are. You're a bright, shining star. Please stop having high expectations. Why not go on a stress-free vacation? Who are you trying to impress? Don't press for progress. You want to be like everyone else. You're a book on the globe bookshelf. Why can't you appreciate you? Maybe you need to change your view. Why must you outdo everyone? The moon isn't outdoing the sun. Everything isn't a competition. It's not a life's grand definition. Maybe you point the telescope within. Be your cheerleader and your friend. You don't live twice, but once. Be a happy sage, then an arrogant dunce. And thank you so very much.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome, man. We missed the jokes. It threw me off. It threw off the timing, but I'm sure you'll have some next week. But for now, how can the fine people watching online follow and support your work?
Well, you can follow me or you can support my work by coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our money light such a delight in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and my IG is EddieForeman92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to sign my fantastic insight. If you send me a quest, if you take a guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Now start spewing one words inside your chest. Now start being, feeling, and doing your best. And remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow, and never ever stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. How I love this show!
Thank you, Ed, as always, for your positive energy, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Si, senor. All right. Out of DC, a weekly regular, and we love it. Go support his work. And we're still waiting for that book, Ed, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That way so we can purchase it and share it with our friends. All right. So we had a last minute addition that we're going to bring up. Joining us from Malaysia, we have Julian Matthews. Welcome back, Julian. Go ahead and take it away.
Hello. Two poems for you. Thank you, Richie, for adding me last minute. It's for Gaza. The air we breathe. Why do you avert the gaze of my people when you can still hear them breathing? Do you not breathe the same air? Think of the air between the pleading mouth and the unreceptive ear. The air that tickles the eyelid before the blink and the trickling tear. The air between the firm handshake and the limp one. The air sucked in and blown out as a sigh, a grunt, a snort. The air in an intentional cough. Think of the airs you put on. Apathetic, arrogant, condescending. Do you not breathe the same air? Think of the air swallowed in shallower and shallower breaths just before sleep that never comes. Air now compressed in white-knuckle grips, air cut off in chokeholds of stolen breaths, the air of despair, stagnant, stale, stricken as strife. See the air swirl between foe and friend, the churn of blowback dust on children's faces after the bomb. Air so still in the fallout shelter. Do you not breathe the same air? Air once so sweet on that shining hill, air that smelled of olives and jasmine, air fresh, effervescent, life-giving, air that wriggles out from bloodied clasped hands as incense, incantation. Air as winged messenger of freedom missives, air that whispers from the universe's unpursed lips to humanity's tone-deaf ear. Cease. Please cease. Thank you. That was the air we breathe. And the second one is called ashtray. It's the kind of ashtray I'm personifying. Ashtray. I hear you speak of moonshots, presidents, and assassinations like you did in the 60s. News and politics are your bread and butter. All spit, spark, and fire, but time has staled arguments. Regurgitated the same bad blood history repeating itself. I read your thoughts like a cave echo. Humans never learn, do they? Humans never learn, do they? Humans never learn. You're still angry, seething beneath the surface, your voice hoarser, your dry cough coarser, like the last protester, dispersing at the end of a rally, distant, fainter, yet no less convicted. Your friends, fewer and fewer these days, seem less inclined to listen to your repeated protestations, the shenanigans of bad government, the hiss of your scratchy vinyl. I'm a gift from a friend long since dead. Brassy, runty-legged, squat, I'm shaped like a shell, scalloped, a cocked ear perked up, ready to hear. I have never been lulled by waves, smelled an ocean breeze, felt sand between my toes, or the sun on my open face. My role is limited to listening to your salty tongue and holding my own, dousing your embers with 1,000 crushes, bearing your powdery residue, holding space for the grayness of your daily grind. I hear your steady, I'm your steady, your corner warmer, torch bearer of your only remaining vice. I'm the snuffer of others' unfulfilled expectations of you, the unrealized potential of smoldered dreams. the ifs and buts of charred regrets. I'm the silent keeper of your smushed secrets, the sorries of forgiving, the hurts from never forgetting. I still feel your stress dissipate with every puff, every exhale a soothing relief, like souls departing in the wind. Today we sit together, yet alone. Nothing needs to be spoken, nothing exchanged, only the spiraling haze of smoke signals between ashy knolls. Your roomy eyes seem lost in a memory, perhaps, or upon an old flame, the last embrace as you take a final, deep drag, then push in. Oh, familiar warmth, I take you in, put out, oh, glorious afterglow, and once again, let you go. Thank you.
Awesome poems. Thank you, Julian. And if you want to share that link tree as well, as always, I'll forward that because I always have fans here in the YouTube chat who come through. Oh yeah, shout out to Kayla. Good to see you here in the chat. I also got your email. That was quick. After this, I'll start trying to respond to people a little more quickly. But thank you again, Julian Matthews, for coming through. Jeez, I got that Tom Waits growl coming to my voice too, a little scratchy right now. But we're gonna go ahead and continue onward with our last performer of the night. He has been the closer for many years now, and pretty consistently at that. I have to say, he's pretty much been here since day one, and even while he's traveling, he's made the attempts to make it to the show. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up the man, not just any man. It's Dan the man. So Dan, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? This is very nice. Earlier I was at a little fair just close to my work, and it was so nice of them. The fall of 2023 and the rest of 2024 is just nice. So since last year, the fall, I'm gonna go ahead and read the first part. Page 12, written by Sergio Elizondo, The Next Stage 2022. In a bar patio, the microphone waits for a radio flyer. Wordsmith at Pupa Stage have gathered in El Paso from all over Texas. Excuse me. The runway hums at us like a lullaby to soothe arachnophobia. Winning words by their own creator should not be cocooned forever. There's a chance for a rough takeoff at the mic, but Chrysalius, yep, that's the name, Chrysalius. Protected by pixie dust, should dream of the best views. I notice she trembles in line. The Austinite prepare herself from metamorphosis. A private wish set to fly as a universal truth. She wants to soar but misses her abuela. The North Star lives now in memory. I also want to fly and learn at aerobatics to learn how do you pronounce that? Aerobatics for aerobatics. Aerobatics. I'm sorry. For any crowd, the right wing. The white wind. To correct my glossophobia, could be found in the desert. El Chuco, away from the altitudes and there's skyscrapers. Seems like the right place for first time magic. Yet the next stage, 2022 by Sergio Elizondo from the Chrysalis Fall 2023. This is very nice. Yeah. All right, and we go to Chrysalis 2024. Yeah. All right. And here's the Wolf Regrets by Aaron Castellanos. This is very nice. Yep. And here's Goat Head by Lynn Sally, page 11. Okay. I opened the front door of an oven of heat burns inside of my nostrils. I recoil, but it's too late. I am standing in the hot oven, my body slowly cooking, sizzling skin, sizzling, blotchy red, even in the shades. The oven is always on high. I wonder how anything can survive in this brutal hot sun and cracked sandy soil. A goat head plant spreads its evil tendrils, its tiny yellow flowers looks sweet until I step on its thorny side, stealth like a ninja star, or track it inside where it lays waiting for soft flesh to come its way. I learned to tread softly when living in the desert. This plant thrives because it has learned to protect itself by building a layer of protection that can never be penetrated. And I realize that this is what I need to do for my heart. Goat Heads by Len Sally, page 11 from 2024's Chrysalis. This is very nice. You know what? Maybe next month, I'll find Richie's and and I'll do one next. Yep, it's very nice. I like it. Okay. Yeah. And and I believe Kit somebody left, so hold on a second. Yeah, Kit left the whole of Crystal. Yeah, it's available on EPP library guides, Chrysalis. Yeah, check it out. It's already on the chat, so all right. All right, keep following me on Instagram, and the Animan's Weekly is still on hiatus until further notice. All right, I hope to see you guys next Monday. You have a safe one. All right, and for all the, besides the fight, it's all in the light. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
I don't know, man. I gotta open my window and check first. Is it night? Depends what time of day you're watching this. Appreciate it, Dan. Thanks as always. Glad you got to pick up those copies of Chrysalis. Shout out to the amazing team that has put those together the last couple of years. They are currently taking submissions for their 2025 edition. So if you're an EPCC student, they also accept not just poetry, but prose, short stories. In fact, we are going to have a short story contest for our annual Hector Pedia contest. If you guys are writing, if you have some prose short story, and in addition to that, you can submit artwork and photography as well to Chrysalis, and it's always really fun to celebrate the release and do a reading. So The deadline for that is December 31st, so you have until the end of the year to submit El Paso peeps. All right, it's open to students, faculty, and of course members of the community. Remember, just quick reminder, if you guys are in El Paso tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to be at Mona Bar of Modern Art. If you're free, come on through. If you can't make it that Tuesday, or if you're seeing this after the fact, the following Tuesday, we'll be at Rosewood Bar Tuesday as well. But this Friday, the 13th, we are going to be celebrating BWOMS Day. Grizz Presents. It is going to be an open mic featuring pie music and art by Kristen Apodaca. Be on the lookout for some promo on that. For the online mic, my name is Rich, Deadwell Reveries. See you guys next week. Have a great week, and all of you taking finals, good luck. See you in the next one.